and welcome to the What We Doin podcast. My name is Tatiana or Leilah. Some people know me as both names. Whichever one you prefer to call me, you can. Feel happy to call me whatever. Tati, Leilah, Tater Tot, Tatty. I've heard a lot. So, yes, welcome to the What We Doin podcast, where I just ask you all in society, what are we doing? Because some days it seems like we know which direction we're going, trying to come, to a common ground, understanding, loving of one another. And then the next thing you know, it's just like F everybody, every man for themselves. It's just ridiculous. But, that's why I'm here, just to question what are we doing in the world. Because it seems like every person on the internet just grabbed a microphone and was like, yeah, let's just talk nonsense. And I thought, well, I can talk nonsense as well. So that's exactly what we're going to do on the What We Doin podcast. Talk about social commentary, politics, societal issues, anything, pop culture. It just depends on what's going on at the moment. So yeah, I thought, well, maybe for the first episode, we could do something light. And I thought, well, majority of my audience they are adults. I'm 25, even though I feel like I'm 16 and 18 at times. I don't know. Until the first of every month. And then I'm hit in the face with rent and other bills. But I still feel like, I still feel young. So yeah, I'm 25 and I thought, well, majority of my following, they are adults as well. And we should talk about the ghettoest hood we have been to, at least in my mind, which is adulthood. I feel as if adulthood, how do you prepare someone for adulthood? Like you can teach them so much and they will still not even be able to understand or scratch the surface of what it entails to be an adult. And so I just decided to ask my socials, what was the craziest or the wildest thing that they've ever experienced in their adulthood? And I want to thank those who answered my question and submitted a response. And we're going to talk about that today. But before we do, I thought it would be cute if I create a wine cocktail that you guys can follow along the recipe and we can drink together. Because if we're hanging out or if we're going to be, chatting through this interweb stuff, please sip with me. I love wine. Wine is a good time in my mind. So, this is a white sangria that I just created with lemon, apples, dragon fruit, and of course some white wine. And it's delicious. So this will be put in the description box or wherever you're listening this at. You can follow me on my TikTok, which is juiceless_Tati, and also my Instagram, juiceless_Tati. So if you see me looking down, obviously my computer is right here, and I will be reading the submissions. And then we're just going to be talking about it a little here and there. So the first submission that we got is falling in love with a woman to find out she had 5 other partners during our relationship. First and foremost, I would want to say, I'm so sorry that you experienced that. It's never fun, ever, to have your heart broken and to be so vulnerable in front of someone and trust to someone and have your heart just shattered into pieces. So again, like I said, I'm so sorry that you experienced that. And I hope you've received or you've gone through, your own healing process, whatever that may look like, in order for you to be vulnerable and trust someone again. So my first point, I guess, with this is, I don't know if social media has created this kind of city girl culture, city boy culture, or whatever. I feel like it's just everybody's goal to waste everybody's time. And by everybody, I don't mean to generalize. I'm just saying, a lot of people and their goal, their intent is to waste people's time, because that city boy, city girl culture, like I was saying, it's just F love, get money and all this stuff. But I feel as if that is such a very, very inconsiderate thing to do. Time is the most expensive commodity you could ever give someone. Money, yeah, sure, it's nice. It comes and it goes. But the thing is, time will never, ever come back. Time is something that you have to decide to spend it and where to spend it, and wisely. You have to spend time wisely, because that is something you will never, ever, ever get back in this lifetime. Well, from my belief, like you will never, ever, ever get that back. And so it's a very important commodity. And I feel like, yeah, we're all in this sort of hookup culture. It's kind of weird. I don't know. I feel like college was the time to do that. And now that I see everybody getting married and having kids, I'm like, oh, we're supposed to be doing that now, huh? And like I said, I feel like I'm still 16 and 18. So I'm like, oh, we are at that time, right? But I mean, there is no set timeline on when you're supposed to get married. People do have their own timelines and agendas. And of course, people have that traditional mindset of like, oh, you should be, done with college by this age and then get married by this age, have kids by this age, And it's just like everybody has a different timeline. So to each their own. However, I do feel as if even now into my mid-20s and even older, people have this tendency of hookup culture. Who can I, screw over and, make myself feel better? And I guess it's fine to a certain degree, but again, time, you have to understand, is very important, very precious, and we have to decide where to spend that wisely. So, sorry if you hear me like swallowing my drink. Sorry. So our second submission says 2 under 2, a toddler and an infant at the same time is no joke. I want to applaud all parents. I applaud you all, because I can't have no kids, at least not right now. Absolutely not. I'm sort of in my selfish, let me step into my grown woman phase. Like I said, I feel like I'm still 18, still figuring out the world. And that is something that someone told me is adulthood is just still figuring out how to do stuff. But now all the consequences are on you. Like when you're a child growing up, obviously you're still learning about the world and how to navigate it, your feelings and perspectives, cultures, like just different backgrounds, right? But once you're an adult, people are like, you can't look at your parents no more. It's on you. What are you doing? And so, yeah, I just want to applaud all parents out there. Especially, I feel like parenthood is one of the hardest roles you can take on. I don't like when people reference parenthood being a job. I feel as if a job, while there are demanding jobs out there, a job is you clock in, you clock out. Being a parent, you are a parent to the day you die, and even beyond then. Beyond the grave, you are still going to be a parent, because your child is going to grow up and maybe have children of their own, or maybe, work with children in like the schools or whatever capacity. And they're going to think about your teachings that you've taught them. They're going to think about the lessons. They're going to think about your love. They're going to think about your presence. They're going to think about all these things that are going to mold them in the end into, whatever kind of parent they turn out to be. Or like I said, if they're in the school system, whatever teacher, your lessons will stay with them for the rest of their lives. They may take on some of your, I would say, not tactics, but they will take on some of your qualities. And maybe there are some qualities that they didn't like and they may not take on. I know a lot of people say like for like spankings and stuff like that, they don't believe in having harsh punishment for their kids. That's something I've been thinking about lately too. Even though I don't have any kids, I do have a niece and a nephew, a beautiful niece and a handsome nephew that I claim are my own children. Shouts out to my brother and my sister-in-law. I love you all. I love you both. And I love my entire family. But I feel like, I don't know how I feel about spankings or different kind of punishments. I understand you have to teach your child right from wrong, in order for them to be, you're basically raising a human being to be a citizen of the world, not just a citizen of this nation, this country, of the world, right? That is a hard role to take on, and I'm not ready for that. So I applaud you. and bless you. Bless all of you who are parents, because adulthood is the ghettoest hood. Parenthood, I feel as if that hood is that's just unmatched. It's hard, and I want to thank my parents for raising me and for loving me and providing for me and not letting me want for really anything, So I'm grateful to you both, and I love you very, very much. All right. So, we're about to get heavy. The third submission, there was actually quite a few of these submissions. Realizing childhood traumas. Heavy. Mental health is a very, very serious thing. If you can go to therapy, I would suggest investing in yourself and making sure you go and you talk through whatever it is you're going through with a therapist. If therapy is not your jam, maybe thinking about other ways to release your emotions. So like journaling, painting, going for walks, working out, just finding healthy outlets to turn to. When this first was submitted, the realizing childhood traumas, I thought, and I was like, have I ever realized a childhood trauma? And I actually did. I actually did like a couple of months ago. There was a lot of emotional things going on. I guess it was an emotional trigger for me. And funny thing is, I haven't gone to therapy for it yet. I probably should, but of course, in due time, I definitely will. And I have those, I use creative outlets for me to really express my emotions. I do acting, dancing. I'm a dance instructor. I really should have introduced myself at the beginning. I'll make sure I do that. But I feel as if it's very sad that childhood traumas come to, come to light. Sort of when you're an adult, and then you have to deal with that as well as other obligations and things that adulthood asks of you. And like I said, if you can talk to a therapist, go ahead and do that. I feel as if children, they're so easy to target because of their innocence, right? And that's such a shame, because innocence, when you're a child, you will never get that back. That is also something I think you will never ever get back in life. Time and your childhood innocence, right? And people feel as if they could prey upon that because children are naive or gullible, or seen as naive and gullible and easy to manipulate. And that's so sad that children have to go through that. They're such angels. Their innocence, they're such angels, and they're just trying to learn. They're trying to grow, and they're trying to explore. But unfortunately, people take advantage of that. Yeah. All right. Number 4, finesse out $50K by a woman. That's $50K. Let me say this. I don't want to shame anyone, right? I don't want to shame anyone. But I feel as if giving a significant other money or an interest in someone, like giving them money, I feel as if that's a big no-no, unless you have a ring on your finger, right? Even if you do have a ring on your finger, $50K, we got to sit down. We got to talk. What is going on? What have you been hiding, right? $50K, and I ain't know you. What are you doing, right? So like I said, I feel as if this is your significant other, if I was put in this situation and they're asking me for money, I feel as if my cap, like at this point in time, y'all, I'm broke, so don't judge me. My cap, I feel like I could give you like $1,000. Like I can't give you no $50,000. I just want to say, yeah, if you have a significant other, you're not married, you're just dating one another, lifelong partner even, I would just say, be very, very, very cautious, and also figure out what exactly do you need this money for, because that's quite wild. It's quite wild in my mind to give someone that amount of money and not be married to that individual. So I would just say, like I said, be cautious, ask questions, even if you are married, ask question. 50K, what we need 50K for? Are you giving us 50K because we like, I don't know, you just got a huge ass bonus check at your job, and like, what are we doing? 50K? I just can't fathom that. All right, number 5. Being homeless for a few months just to become established. Before we get into this, I just want to say I'm so glad to see you now thriving for yourself, for your family. Thank you for submitting this and being so open about it to me. Life can really be hard and unfair. And I feel as if there are a lot of factors that play into, someone becoming homeless. So this individual said they had to be homeless to establish themselves, right? And so in the workforce, job force, whatever force, there are a lot of things that you have to have in order to attain well-paying jobs, right? Education, degrees, experience. And even then it's like, how am I supposed to get experience if I just maybe graduated and now I'm trying to get a job in my field, and I feel as if I'm qualified because I'm knowledgeable about the topic. I spent years learning about it, and yet you still want me to get experience, but no one's hiring unless I have experience. And then when I tell them about the experiences I had, they said they feel as if it's still not enough, or it's just not enough, and they need more. They need more information on the way that you work and the way that you perform research, or just different things like that. And it's like, I have to maybe go back to school to get another degree to prove to them that I got even more educated on this topic, on this exact topic that I already had a degree for. I went back to school so I could become an expert, as y'all say. And so, sometimes you have to make those hard sacrifices, and it's not going to be fun. It's not going to be fun. Like me right now, I'm in my first apartment by myself. This is actually my first time paying rent. Out of my 25 years of living, this is my first time paying rent. When I tell you, all my money just goes to bills. It goes straight to them damn bills. And it's just frustrating. But of course, figuring out how to manage money properly, and just knocking off those unnecessary things that I've been buying or whatever. I'd have to just make sure, I keep myself accountable, and I have to make those sacrifices. I'm not saying that's the same as you making your sacrifice of, having to be homeless until you're established. It was just, my experience that I was putting out there. And so, like I said, I'm so glad that you were able to establish yourself for yourself and your family. And I hope you continue to keep thriving. And I hope society in general can band together and we help one another. It just seems as if all the prices of bills just keep getting higher and higher and higher. And our paycheck is just remaining the same. It's just like bills keep getting higher, and then the paycheck is just staying the same. I'm like, what can you give us some kind of, raise the freaking, I was about to cuss. I'm just trying so hard not to cuss right now. But, of course, higher freaking pay. If any business is paying minimum wage in this day and age, y'all don't want people to be able to live. Y'all don't want people to be comfortable in their situation, their living situation. You want them to work themselves to death. And I understand capitalism, y'all. I understand. But dang, can we help each other out here? Life would be so much more enjoyable if we just help each other out. But that's my spiel about that. I don't want to go off on a tangent. But again, like I said, continue to thrive. And thank you so much for sharing. All right, number 6. I didn't really dive into this. As soon as I saw what he meant, I didn't dive any more into this, but basically the submission said Amsterdam at first. And I said, do you care to elaborate? And he told me about the red light district in Amsterdam. Let me tell y'all this. Y'all be getting freaky out there. And I might have to join you. No, I'm playing. Maybe I'm not. But I will visit Amsterdam. Don't know if I'm going to go to that red light district. Like I said, I might. I don't know. I don't know. But we're going to move on from that. Look it up. So, submission number 7. Oh my God. Almost killing somebody on a spinning chair in Boston. That's somebody that this individual almost killed was me. So I want to say you're lucky that I didn't get up and kill you after I flew off that freaking spinning chair. So this is the story. I was in Boston for an internship at the Apollinaire Theater Company. This was maybe in 2018, I would say. I think 2018. And so I was just connected with some people up there. And this individual was one of them. And so he took me to a park. And there was this big spinning, like, I don't know, topsy-turvy, tabletop kind of thing. And he told me to get in it. So I got in it. And he started spinning it, right? And it was fine, Okay, it was like slow, spinning it, cool. Then this mother just kept spinning it faster and faster and faster. And I was like, what? Can you please stop? Like, I'm losing my grip. The centripetal force is making me lose my grip now, right? So he just kept spinning it faster and faster. And the next thing I know, I lose my grip and I go flying off of this spinning chair. And I land almost on my neck, cracking that. I'm just trying so hard not to curse. Cracking it, right? And then he comes running over there to me. He like trying to get me stand up. He's like, are you okay? Are you okay? And that wasn't the embarrassing part. I could deal with me flying off, trying almost breaking my neck, right? It was just the fact that I flew and there were like 3 people sitting right there at that spot. And I landed there. They just got up and walked away. They were like, we're not trying to witness a potential murder. Like, what? All I want to say is you're lucky that I'm okay and I still fucks with you. Sorry I cursed. I'm trying so hard. I curse like a sailor, y'all. I'm trying so hard not to curse. But I will say that is one of one of the funniest memories I have. So I guess I appreciate you for that. But don't let it happen again. And yes, when I come to Houston, I am getting my 3 licks in. You said it already, so that's that. All right, the number 8 submission. This individual said, everything these days is wild. And so I was like, do you care to elaborate? And they definitely elaborated and said a lot of things that I have been thinking about and I agree with. So I'm going to break some of them down. But the first one is starting with social media and its influence on everyone's mindset and outlook on life. I 100% agree with this, just because social media has affected so many people's lives, right? And I just don't understand the need to, I guess, impress strangers on the internet. I have a lot of fun on these apps, creating dance videos, silly TikToks. Of course, if you scroll to my like pictures and stuff, it looks like I have to be picture perfect. And yeah, I'm trying to really break that down, because I don't look like this 24/7, y'all. I just be chilling with my hair nappy. I'm not even gonna lie to you. I just be chilling with my hair nappy in my house like nobody's business, right? But I don't know. I'm trying to break down my social media presence. Like, I don't have to be perfect because I am not perfect, right? And like I said, people on the internet feel as if they need to impress strangers, like, oh, I'm living the best life out here. Well, we all know life is full of a lot of ups and downs, very emotional roller coaster at times. And we don't like to show, I did not mean to pull this microphone. We don't like to show that side to others, right? And which is completely understandable, that vulnerable, sad side, that side of life where it gets really, really hard, and we're struggling. People don't want to. You don't want others to see you, struggling and low. And but I feel as if in adulthood specifically, we all be struggling at times. I'm not even going front. I feel as if we all struggle at times, even those who may seem as if they have the most money and they're going on the best vacations. They have the cars, the clothes, they have the clout, they have all of that. Behind closed doors, they are facing their own problems, their own demons, right? It seems as if, on the internet, we just all want to look the same. We all want to dress the same. We all want to, again, show that lifestyle of, oh, we're living our best lives all the time. Not the case. So I feel as if social media, I will dive into this probably in a different video, but I feel as if social media has caused a lot more harm than good. I feel as if it was supposed to be like connecting with different people around the world and, seeing different cultures and stuff through pictures and videos or whatever. But now it's just about, who who has the fattest ass, who has the nicest whips, who has the best clothes, the nice, cars, going on vacation all the time, no worries, and unfortunately for a lot of us, life is not like that. There's struggle and there are consequences to our actions. So Number 9, realizing that all of your dreams as a kid may or may not happen. So this one really hit me. I think this is a hard pill to swallow, right? I feel as if we are taught that this American dream, we can attain it. The American dream of that. I mean, of course, it has evolved over the years what the American dream is. I feel like right now the American dream is just money, who has the most money. Again, that social media presence of who has the most money, nicest cars, clothes, trips, women, men, whatever. But the American dream, I feel like only applies to, of course, the fair-skinned individuals of this country. We are all born with advantages and disadvantages, right? I feel as if we are born with more disadvantages than advantages, especially due to your socioeconomic status and also education, right? The individuals at the top, the ones with the money, they don't want to share with you how to make money because they want to keep that to themselves and their family, right? There's so many pieces to the pie that everybody can have a piece, right? But that means, oh, well, I'll have less than I already have. It's just a mindset of greediness. And so it's just sad that we all could be living comfortably, but unfortunately, some people don't want to share the piece of their pie. We're all in this world as the human race, and we should be helping one another to just live. But we just systems place barriers in front of us, so we can never get to that comfortability, right? That means we have to maybe pick up 1 or 2 jobs because that minimum wage is not going to cover those bills, and working sometimes only 40 hours a week won't cover those bills. You may have to work overtime on top of overtime to at least make your payments on time, so you don't have to suffer from those consequences. But again, just to get back to the original notion, that you may not be able to fulfill all of your dreams, and coming to terms with that. You know, sometimes you will not be able to fulfill your dreams. That is hard to accept. It's hard to hear. However, that doesn't mean you should stop dreaming. That doesn't mean you should stop having goals, having aspirations. Maybe you just need to tweak that goal and tweak that aspiration. Like for me, this whole podcast, it takes a lot of energy, right? To muster up the courage to sit in front of a device, a phone, a computer, a camera, and just talk to it as if I'm talking to people. It takes a lot of energy to research and put together a script, like me, and having to write this script for this podcast and coming up with a brand and idea and seeing, you know, maybe if people like it, what if people don't like it? It takes a lot of energy and pushing off dreams, or putting dreams on hold because you're afraid of how people will receive them. But the thing is, like I said, you may just have to tweak that dream. You may have to put that dream on hold and then come back to it. Maybe when you're more qualified, or if you're more knowledgeable about it, more skilled, whatever that dream may be, you come back, you unpause it, and you pick it up right where you left off, you know? And so that's what I did right now. We'll see if it goes well, if it continues. But I've been talking so much. I have not been drinking this wine. Very upset at myself. But like I said, don't stop dreaming just because some dreams didn't come true. They didn't happen. Just tweak your dreams, right? Or create new dreams. Once you realize, dang, you know, I really wanted to be XYZ, but I'm past the, I guess, age where I could have become X, Y, and Z. Well, then what's the next step in life? You know, what else can you do? What else are you passionate about? That's what I would, you know, look to instead of looking backwards. And the last thing, this is something that I agree with wholeheartedly because I thought about it. And I say the realization that we're grown. For me, all I would say is adulthood is a scam, right? Adulthood is a scam. But the realization that we're grown, you have to go to work. You have to take care of yourself. And if you have a family, like I said, applause out there to all the parents. If you have a family, you have to take care of them as well. Let me applause. You have to take care of them as well. All I want to say is, you know, bless you, bless everyone, because like I said, there are going to be times where we struggle. There are going to be times where we have to face traumas and realizations of dreams that may not happen. And just looking back on your childhood of like, wow, I really wish I could go back to those days where I didn't have to worry about a thing. You know, there's some people who wanted to be an adult and be grown and be on their own and not have to listen to their parents. I was never one of them. Why am I eating this microphone? Okay. For those who wanted to be, you know, grown out on their own and making their own decisions, paying their own bills, I was never one of them. I never, ever told my mom and dad, I can't wait till I'm grown and I have my own place. I can make my own rules. No, because I saw how ghetto and hard adulthood is. And now that I'm here, it's just so ghetto and so hard, man. But, you know, like I said, we got to look to the positives. We got to look to the positives. We got to pray about it. You know, you got to just make the best out of your situation. And adulthood is a scam. So how can we scam it back? No, I'm kidding. Before, like, you know, the IRS or whatever try to come looking for me. We saw in your video you said scam. All right, look, I ain't mean it like that. Or did I? No, I didn't mean it like that. Before y'all come for me, for real. But what I want to say is, in conclusion, adulthood is a scam. No, I'm playing. But in all seriousness, I feel as if, like I mentioned before, someone told me that adulthood is just figuring things out as you go. because you will never have all of the answers. You will never have all of the answers on how to navigate this life. And so all you have to do is just take each lesson as it comes and keep it pushing. You've learned from your mistakes. You've learned from your failures. You learn from your success. You just take those lessons and you keep going forward. And eventually, like, you will find the answers. You will find ways to cope. You will find behaviors to take on, behaviors to take off, or behaviors you should avoid. All in all, do not put that much pressure on yourself. Remember to enjoy yourself and take breaks, right? It is okay to take naps. It is okay to drink wine. This is me talking to myself now. But it's okay to not be perfect. It's okay to want to just sit down and not do anything. But we are all figuring it out. Don't be afraid to ask for help. Please. That is one thing. If you don't take anything else from this, please don't be afraid to ask for help. There's nothing wrong with seeking help and receiving help. Because like I said, if we all would just help one another, maybe this world would be a better place. Thank you so much for listening to this first, podcast of What We Doin. If you were able to stomach this and actually stay to the end, I appreciate you so much. There will be many, 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 don't quote me, there might be, but many more podcast videos. And the next video coming up, the next several videos coming up, will be a series about why we consume crime or crime documentaries. Because this Jeffrey Dahmer series had y'all in a chokehold, and I was like, did y'all not know about Jeffrey? Did y'all not hear about Jeffrey? Clearly not. But he, in that series, had y'all in a chokehold, and I was like, we have to talk about this because y'all are crazy. And by y'all, I mean y'all. But until next Wednesday, until next time, enjoy your wine and like this video, comment, let's have conversations. If you want to talk about anything adulthood or, memories from your childhood, whatever you want, I'm so down to listen. And I love talking and, having conversations with people. So yeah, until next time, good wine, good times.